Hey guys, it's Mahel here, and today I'm going to be giving you my advice on how to deal with homesickness, and especially during Freshers Week and beyond. If you're new here or if you haven't subscribed already, then make sure to click the subscribe button and click the bell to turn all post notifications on. This ensures that you do not miss out on a single video as soon as it goes live. I upload a variety of university, GCSE and A-level related content, so you do not want to miss out. So once again, make sure to click the subscribe button and turn the bell on. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. Now, the first thing to note is that no matter who you are, you will experience homesickness at university. However, each person will experience homesickness to a different degree and extent at university. So, whilst everyone will experience homesickness, different people will be more homesick than others. As a result, different people will have different ways in which they can combat their homesickness, and different people will take different amounts of time in order to combat their homesickness. For example, it might be easier for a UK student to combat their homesickness than an international student from India, as if you want to go home, for example, to help assist the process, it's much easier to travel across the UK than it is to get a flight back to India. My first tip to combat homesickness is to keep yourself as busy as possible. Think of homesickness as that ex that you want to forget about, but is always on your mind 24/7. The reason that both of these are on your mind 24/7 is because you're not willing to find that bit of closure and you're not willing to move on. And this is partially due to the fact that you're not occupied enough and you're not busy enough to be like, oh wow, I'm so busy, I have no time to think about anything else. I'm not saying you should forget about home completely. However, the first few weeks at university are so important to setting the foundations of the rest of your year as a fresher. And so you want to ensure that whilst you are still thinking about home, university is your absolute priority. Having said that, I do advise that you keep yourself as busy as possible, and I'm now going to tell you a few ways in which you can do that. I'm going to make a full video explaining ways in which you can keep yourself occupied at university. However, to sum it up for this one, you can do things such as joining a sport or society, going out with your flatmates, or meeting new people by putting yourself out there. Or if you're introverted or socially awkward and you don't like putting yourself out there, it's fine to sit in your room and play CSGO 24/7 if you wanted to. What I'm saying is you must be doing something, whatever it is, to keep yourself busy, as long as it isn't keeping yourself busy by talking to people from home, as that will only trigger your homesickness even more and make things worse. If you keep yourself busy, not only will you not be thinking about home because you're too busy to think about home, but also you'll be settling into university, which is so important because there are some people that don't allow themselves to settle into university properly, and so homesickness goes on for months and months and months, which is something you do not want. You want to get over homesickness as quickly as possible, and by utilising the first few weeks of university to settle in properly, you can make things so much better for yourself. My second tip relates to how often you should go home to visit your family and how often you should phone them. In terms of visiting home, I advise that you do not visit home at all for the first month of uni, so not till the end of October or the start of November. This is going to be a big hurdle and quite mentally challenging. However, in the long term, doing this will be so much better for your mental health and overall well-being. The reason I say this is because you don't want to get to February and still feel homesick. You want to get it out of the way with as quick as possible so that it's not a burden on your life in the long term. Additionally, if you're visiting home every single weekend, for example, then you're escaping the reality of being an independent university student. And so you're not allowing yourself to truly settle into university. At uni, people won't hold themselves back for you, and especially for someone that they don't really know too well. So if you're the person that's never around at university because you're always visiting home, people won't hold back. They'll simply make new friends and move on without you. It's the sad reality of university, but it's the honest and brutal reality. Therefore, I advise that you do not visit home at all for the first month at university, and from that point, try to keep your visits once every 2 to 3 weeks. As for phoning your family, feel free to send a text just saying you're alright every 2 to 3 days to let your family know that you're settling well and you're overall just alright. But try not to phone for the first week at all, and from that point, try to keep your calls once every 2 to 3 days until you're truly not feeling homesick, and from that point you can phone whenever you want to. My third tip relates to talking to friends from home. Most of them are probably going to university, and a different university to you. However, I can't emphasize enough how much you shouldn't always be trying to contact your friends from home whilst you're at university, and especially in the first few weeks of uni. This is because your friends also need to settle into university, make their own friends, and combat their own homesickness. And by literally texting them or calling them every day, not only are you preventing yourself from settling into university, you're also preventing them settling into university, because the time that you spend talking to them 24/7 is also time that you could spend meeting new people at university and gaining some independence, and similarly time that they can spend gaining independence and meeting new people. It does help if you know people from home going to the same university as you, but I personally think it's better to get to know people on your own. And what I mean by this is, don't, for example, double team and find people to get to know, as when you do this, you're typically just talking to that person next to you all the time rather than trying to get to know new people. On your own, it actually can be better to get to know people, as let's say you find one other individual and you're like, oh hi, I don't really know anyone. They could be like, same here, do you want to try and get to find people to know? And eventually you can form a group at university and make friends that way. Similarly, let's say you're only one person on your own and there's a group of 4 people that I've just met. You can go up to that group and be like, sorry, if I don't really know anyone here, I'm new, I'm from Kent, can I get to know you guys? More times than not, they'll be like, yeah, sure, come in, and you can get to know them that way. As I said in my first point, it's so important to keep yourself as busy as possible so that you're not thinking about home all the time. And by making new friends at university, you won't be thinking about your friends from home all the time, and instead you can look forward to a Christmas reunion, which always tends to be really nice and refreshing. And trust me, I'm sure most of you would rather look forward to a reunion with everyone around, Christmas vibes all around, than simply talking to your home friends every single day whilst not making friends at university. And then when you see them in person, you're just like, oh, hey, because you've been talking to them every day. It's so much better if you don't talk to your home friends as often, so that when it does come to that Christmas reunion, you have so many stories to share, everyone has stories to share, and overall, you're able to keep your friends from home and benefit from new friends at university. My fourth and final tip is to not be afraid to reach out to someone for help. Universities tend to have support lines, such as at the University of Nottingham, we have something called Nightline, where you can phone up anonymously and discuss your issues and someone will help you. Or you can reach out to the welfare team at your university and discuss your issues, and they'll be able to support you directly. Even if you're introverted or socially anxious, it's so important that you reach out to someone about your problems, as keeping them to yourself will only make things worse. I'm going to leave a few relevant links to helplines in the description below, but if you feel afraid of reaching out to a helpline, don't be afraid to reaching out to a fellow university student, as more times than not, they'll be willing to help you and even feel the same way. Like I said at the start of the video, everyone will feel homesick, just to a different degree. But that is going to be it for the video, guys and girls. I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope it has been informative, and I hope you now know how to combat homesickness at university, especially during Freshers Week and beyond. If you did enjoy the video, or if this has been helpful, then make sure to leave a like, comment below, and subscribe, and turn post notifications on by clicking the bell below. This ensures that you do not miss out on a single video as soon as it goes live. Make sure to follow me on my social media handles, that's @MahelKhan on TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat. at MehelX on Twitter and official Mehel Khan on Facebook. You can feel free to ask me any questions on Twitter especially, as I do reply to tweets directed at me. I'm just not personally answering Instagram DMs right now. I'll explain why in a future video. But also, if you need any advice, then leave it in the comments as well, as I do reply to YouTube comments. Or if you'd like to see any other videos, then make sure to let me know in the comments below, and I will consider those for a video idea. And this has been Mehel. I hope to see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.